Ladies and gentlemen, I coach a lot of people, and one thing that comes up a lot is people beating themselves up. People will beat themselves up if they feel like they're not perfect, if they feel like they have no idea what they're doing, if they ever make a mistake. Basically, people beating themselves up is sort of the common thing that people use to motivate themselves. But if I'm very honest, I kind of have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And not just like, that's not me just saying that. I genuinely have no idea what the fuck I'm doing most of the time. And I think there's sort of a misconception that in order to achieve goals or in order to do anything of note, you have to kind of be competent, you have to be confident, you have to know what you're doing, you have to be driven, you have to be super motivated, you have to have a mission and a goal and a direction and like go in that direction. And you have to wake up every day just like super sure of yourself. And while those things can help, I'm not that person. I don't think I've ever been that person. And I have said this so many times, I'm not super confident. I am full of doubts all the goddamn time. I have a billion insecurities. I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing most of the time. And everything that I have achieved, all of the weight loss, getting over depression or working through depression, building the relationship that I have with my girlfriend Imogen that we've built over the last 5.5 years, getting to a point where I can charge $10,000 or now it's $11,000 for coaching, building or creating 1,500 pieces of content, building this YouTube channel, building my podcast and my blog, writing the Tinder guide, which was like 130,000 words, coaching I don't know how many people at this point. I've lost count. All the sex that I've had, the threesomes, I've lost count of all the threesomes, the foursomes, like all of that stuff that I've done. I haven't been confident. I have not known what the hell I was doing. I've been full of doubt and insecurity the entire time. I really have just kind of been winging it. It very much feels like this is just me experimenting and trying a bunch of different things and seeing what works for me and seeing what doesn't work for me. But at no point have I been a confident man. The title of this video is Let the Record Show I Was Never Confident. This is, I guess, me, and I've said this in so much content. This is me kind of like underlining it and saying, let me be very clear. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know anything. I'm just some bold retard on the internet who's tried a few things and some of it worked and some of it didn't. And I'm here now relaying that stuff to you. But it's not like I have the answers. It's not like I'm some expert on any of the topics that I talk about. And I think I make that pretty clear as well. I've just done some things and made some mistakes. And I don't believe in mistakes. It's all a learning lesson. But I've just tried a bunch of shit. And you guys and girls, I want you to understand, I wasn't supposed to get this far. When I was in my 20s and before that, I was depressed and suicidal for a good 8 or 9 years. Literally every single day, I would wake up going, I wish today that I could have the confidence to finally fucking kill myself. I would walk across traffic. I would walk like cross the road and there'd be cars coming and I'd think, man, if I just like stop walking and close my eyes, it could all be over. I would have the knife and I would hold it to my wrist and I would think, man, I wish I just had the fucking confidence to do this. I wish I wasn't such a pussy that I could just do this. I would have Panadol, and there were times where I bought, you guys in America call it paracetamol, and I would have so much of it. And I would just have it sitting there and I think maybe if I ate all this could end my troubles. I didn't think from that point that I'd get to a point where I've had this amazing, abundant, incredible fucking life. When I first started working on my sex life, I wasn't even working on my sex life. All I wanted was a woman to be nice to me. I'd gone through 2 less than happy relationships, which had abuse and cheating, and some on their part, some on my part. I didn't think a woman would ever be nice to me. I didn't think I deserved that. I didn't think I was allowed to have that. I really didn't think that I was going to do or have any of this stuff. I didn't think I would be sitting here and some of you would be listening. I didn't think anyone would ever give a shit what I had to say. I really wasn't supposed to have gotten this far. This wasn't supposed to have been possible. I really didn't think it was. Now I can look back in hindsight and say, yeah, you just showed up every day and took a little bit of action and you gave yourself a lot of permission to suck, which I still do every day to this day. And I just did some things and some of it worked and some of it didn't. And I just kept going for long enough, for a decade. 15 years at this point, I guess, if you count from when I first started getting over depression. Actually, that would be 20 years at this point. I just tried some stuff and some of it has worked and some of it hasn't. So anytime you're sitting there thinking, I'm not competent, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not confident, man, why am I such a loser? Understand that's exactly how I feel. We're not any different. You tell a story that we are. You probably tell a story of other people that you listen to or other people that you look up to. You tell some story of, I bet you they're super confident. I bet you their life is super glamorous. I bet you they know what they're doing. And yes, I am more confident than when I started, obviously. But I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And so if you feel like you don't know what the fuck you're doing, welcome to the club. That's called being human. You know, we're all just kind of doing our best. We're just aiming to be a little bit better every day. We're just sort of showing up and making tiny little baby steps and making 1% improvement at a time. And all of this can be summed up by me saying, you're going to make it, you know? Take things one day at a time. You're doing great. Keep it up.